before we leave and move on to the next one. And when we get to the world, I'll explain why. So this is the boss. It's a big monkey dude, and he's lobbing oranges at us. Oops, I didn't mean to stand there and take that to the face. But if we get him to lob oranges onto the right spots, where there are pictures of oranges, he spits out a Jiggy. Now, if you guys saw, there was an orange under his tree here. He keeps throwing oranges at us anyway. I'm not going to grab that just yet. Let's come over here and talk to this guy. Chimpy hungry. Wants orange now. Feed Chimpy. All right. Well, Chimpy wants an orange. We'll give him an orange. Just rob Conga, that's his name. Just rob Conga of his orange. That's Conga's orange. Your oranges are nice. Oh, Chimpy likes Conga's orange. Chimpy helped Fat Bear and Bird. So I want you to point out, it only showed up briefly, but you guys did see there was an orange with eyeballs that talked to us, and he said, yum, oranges are nice. Now I need you to know that that orange was alive, and Chimpy is about to eat him. Rare didn't give a shit. Banjo can be a very cruel world if you pay attention to some of this. Okay, so we've got some more eggs here. But let's see what's up with bottles. Time for the buzzard to learn the ancient ways of the egg. I'm listening, Beetle Breath. Hold the right or left trigger, then press Y to shoot an egg out of your mouth. Hey, sounds cool. Anything else? Sure, press B instead, and you can shoot them out from behind. Sheesh, sounds painful. I wish I'd never asked. Bird Brain can carry up to 100 eggs in her backpack. Oh, and you can also use the left stick to aim while you are crouching. Egg sighting, huh? Now that you've learned how to use the eggs, here's 50 to practice with. Your energy's a little low. I'll fill it up for you. All right, Bottles being a nice guy saw we were down in energy. Oh, Banjo, there's nothing more I can teach you in this world. So we've learned all 3 of Bottles' moves. And now we can shoot eggs at Conga. Because he's kind of a big dickhead. There's really no other reason. He's got a tree and he wants to defend it. But he's kind of a big dickhead, so we're just going to shoot stuff at him. Dodge the oranges. Hit him 3 times, the magic number, and that is our first little mini-boss of this game. Bear beat Conga. Me give prize to Bear. Wait, so she's shitting ammo? Yeah, you can make her shit eggs. Isn't it lovely? You don't use the shitting eggs as often as you use the coughing up eggs, I don't think. Because when you shoot the eggs, you shoot them out in a straight line. But when she shits eggs, she just kind of shits them, and then they're just there. Let's hit ground pound that. That is a picture of Grunty's face on it, otherwise known as Grunty's switches. There's one of those in every level as well, and they make a puzzle piece. They make a Jiggy appear in the Gruntilda Overworld. So we're going to want to keep an eye out for those. We have 5 Jiggies already. We're halfway done with that. We have over 50 notes, so we're basically halfway completed with the level. In any regard. Select some of the... Oop, didn't mean to fall in here. That is the last Jinjo. So like I said earlier, you get all 5 Jinjos. The last one drops a Jiggy. Now we're at 6. We only have a couple left. I don't think I got that one on a Mumbo's Ice Skull either, so that'll be an easy grab. And then, yeah, I gotta run back up to Mumbo's Tower, and then we're about done with this level. Boom, 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 boom. 72, so we've got less than 30 notes left. If you guys are watching the Spiral playthrough as well, you'll see a lot of similarities, and this is what I said is back in the day, they don't hardly come out... Damn, I missed my jump. They don't hardly come out as often anymore. It did happen with Mario Odyssey, but it had been a long time since a game like Mario Odyssey had come out. But they don't make collectathons nearly as much anymore. They're sort of making a comeback now, I think, because people realize people miss that genre. But back in the day, a lot of games are like that. Super Mario 64, Spyro, Crash to an extent. Crash is a little bit different because it was more linear. But Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Donkey Kong 64. If you guys want a really baller Donkey Kong 64 playthrough, Moon Monkey is doing that. So if you guys go to Moon Monkey's YouTube channel, Moon Monkey is... He's playing through DK64, which is a very large game that it's so big, I don't think I want to play through it myself, but he's doing a really good job with it, and I'm very much enjoying watching his playthrough of that. Shout-outs to Moon. A Hat in Time. A Hat in Time was a recent one that came out that was actually really good. We Juju. Mumbo's Totem Pole. Feed us with nice blue stones. Nice blue stones, eh? Now, this is the first time in this game that Rare decides they want to get real slick. So when there's one Juju left, you got to keep an eye out because, oh my god, they hit a honeycomb piece, an empty honeycomb piece up here. And if you shoot the last Juju out, hello? Hello? Is this thing on? There we go. Then you have no way to jump up and get that honeycomb piece. Which is something important to remember. Now, even though there were a total of 6 in the Spiral Mountain overworld, there are only 2 empty honeycomb pieces per level in any given Banjo-Kazooie level. So that was one, and we're going to grab the second one on our way out. But there we go. We have 9 Jiggies, only 1 left. So we have one thing left to do, and it's introduce ourselves to our friend Mumbo here. And we have just enough tokens to have a proper chat with him. Just enough tokens because, as you can see, he's got a picture that says 5 Mumbo Skulls, and we happen to have 5 Mumbo Skulls, as indicated in the bottom right-hand corner. One of his torches is out. I got a couple eggs I could collect up here, so I'm just going to take him up on this offer while we're in the neighborhood. I like to hide stuff in the top of his Mumbo's hut every now and again. But let's go ahead and find out what Mumbo does. Me, Mumbo, best shaman in all game, can help Banjo and Filthy Feathered One. Watch it, hut boy. Mumbo's magic tokens hid by witch. Find tokens and Mumbo help you. Ah, Banjo has plenty tokens. Stand on skull and press X to use mighty Mumbo magic. Alright. This is the only time this is going to happen, but this level only has 5 Mumbo tokens, so you have to find every Mumbo token in this level before you can use it. I think this is their way of trying to make you go to the next level and then come back later, but you don't have to if you know what's going on. Mumbo's magic free. Come back and change back when you're ready. Termite bit small, but not bad for first spell. Mumbo practice needed. Basically he's saying, hey, this first transformation isn't all that, but I'm going to work on it and we'll get some better ones in the future. But yeah, Mumbo transforms you. He'll transform you into a different animal in every... I think it's all animals in Banjo-Kazooie. I know that changes in Tooie, but I think it's all animals in Banjo-Kazooie. Transforms you into a different animal in every level. And in this one, we're a termite. And now I'm going to explain why we didn't properly explore Termite's tower earlier on. So we have no attacks as a little baby termite, so we just kind of have to avoid the bigger termite bullies, but that's okay, because we're really just going to use it to climb this tower. The reason we needed to be a termite for this is because this right here and a few other platforms, Banjo and Kazooie, it's actually too steep for even Kazooie to stand on. So you can't even come in here as Kazooie and jump off of these platforms to get to the next one. You will slide off no matter what. I'm on the Xbox 360 version, so what I said is 100% true. You can't actually climb this tower on the Xbox 360 version. In earlier Nintendo 64 copies, for some reason, you actually can pull off some fancy jumps that allow Kazooie to traverse this. It has to do with jumping the moment that you touch the platform, and Kazooie's shadows going over certain areas in the floor, which it like resets Kazooie's jump. It's really complicated, but if you ever want to watch a speedrun of this, I highly recommend it. Look up like the world record for it. People do some really crazy stuff. Oh, let me pick this up while we're in the neighborhood. Pick this up already. These really aren't important. It's a free life, but free life don't really mean anything. I don't plan on dying too many times in this. I'm sure I will, don't get me wrong, at least once, but I don't plan on dying a lot. And every time I turn my system off and back on, it resets my lives to 3. Alright, that extra tune means you got all the Jiggies in the world, which is a nice tune to hear. But yeah, we have all 10 Jiggies that were available in this world. We're only missing one more thing. Did we get all 100 notes? We did get all 100 notes. I don't remember when we picked up the 100, but... So we have officially collected everything there is to collect in Mumbo's Mountain. Termites don't drown and can't swim, so that's nice. And we're on our way out. Now, normally, I would go back to Mumbo and have him change me back to Banjo-Kazooie, but I actually need to be a termite, even when I leave this world. Because if you guys remember, when we did the ground pound on the Grunny switch, it caused the Jiggy to show up here. And this, again, is a hill that's too steep for even Kazooie to climb. But being a termite, we can make our way up here pretty easily and collect the second Overworld Jiggy. When you open a new door, baddies escape and roam once more. So now we're going to make our way out of here. Normally, I don't know. It'd be easy to think, oh, now I got to go all the way back to Mumbo. But the game kind of put in this little... It's sort of a block to keep you from leaving the world, but it's also convenient when you want to turn back. But the further away you get from Mumbo, the weaker his magic gets. And now that we've got so far away from Mumbo and the Overworld, it just turns us all the way back into Banjo-Kazooie for free. How you doing, A-Man? Good to see you. Continuing on, like I said earlier, now with the Talon Shot, we can make it up this hill. And when we come up to our first note door, which I kind of explained earlier, but Bottles will give us another go at it. This is a note door, sealed by Grunty with one of her powerful musical spells. Open it up then, jam jars. It's not that simple. To open it, you must collect the musical notes from the worlds. How many do we need? Well, there's 50 on the door, Banjo, you numbskull. The number on the door is the strength of the spell. That combined total is all your best note scores from the worlds must be at least this to break Grunty's magic. We have 100 notes total, meaning that we got all 100 from one world so far. Later, Vulcan, have a good night, man. And we open up the musical note door. It's kind of funny that Kazooie calls bottles jam jars right there because there is actually a character in Banjo-Tooie named Jam Jars. Okay. So now the overworld actually opens up a little bit in this area, and it'll open up more as we go on, but... Go ahead and see what this is all about. That over there was a pad that we can't use yet. Hello there, young ones. I'm Brentilda, Gruntilda's nicer sister. I have crept down here to help you defeat the old hag. It's about time she was taught a lesson. I know all of Grunty's disgusting secrets, and I'll tell you 3 of them every time you find me. Remember them well, young ones, as they will help you avoid a fiery fate. Press X if you'd like to hear them. Alright, so these facts seem weird, but they will wind up being important at some point. In fact, if someone in chat keep a tally of these facts, I'd be appreciative. Gruntilda brushes her teeth with tuna ice cream flavored toothpaste. Tuna ice cream flavored toothpaste. How crazy. She also washes her hair with rancid milk. Sheath Kirk, thank you for the 3 months, man. I appreciate that. And she gets her clothes from Saggy Maggie's boutique. All right, so those are the 3 facts we learned from Gruntilda, and again, keep those in mind. We might need them later. So funny story, there's a glitch you can do that I didn't do because it kind of messes the game up a little bit, and I wanted to do as normal of a playthrough as I can. You'll see me cut corners and use some speedrun tricks here and there every now and again, but I want to do for the most part as normal of a playthrough as I could. But there's a trick you can do that allows Banjo-Kazooie to know every move in the game from the moment you turn the game on. So you can kind of do the levels out of order, because this pad here lets us get up there to a different puzzle piece that unlocks a different world. But like I said, we're not really doing the move glitch or anything like that. I'm trying to give you the most genuine, authentic playthrough you would normally get. So we're just going to do the levels in order. No cheating, no getting ahead here. To remove pieces that you've already put down, move the right stick down. But once the picture is complete, all the pieces are stuck there permanently. Alright, so we still have 9 jiggies left total, but we've obviously earned 3 more than that because we had to spend 1 to get into Mumbos and then 2 to open up Treasure Trove Cove, which is another good level.
Right, you. Show 'em a real
Hey, Canada, thank you for the 38 months, man. How you doing, Canada? What up, 0 Grams Prince? And here we have another new creature. You've activated a magic cauldron. Find 2 of the same color to create a shortcut. Basically, we find 2 of those, it'll create like a warp portal where we can hop into one. It helps us maneuver the overworld a little bit easier instead of backtracking through the whole thing. But we open up a world called Treasure Trove Cove. It must be up here because there's nowhere else to go in this area. One thing I have not had the chance to gush about yet. Actually, let me go back down here so I can talk about it. The soundtrack in this game is phenomenal. The music in this game, absolutely fantastic. Love it to death. Probably part of the reason it's so good. Probably part of the reason I like it as much as I do. The game as a whole. But as you walk to different areas, the overworld has the same overlooming theme. You know what I mean? But as you walk to different areas of the overworld, the music it keeps the same beat, it keeps the same like notes and everything, but the music itself changes, different instruments, different sounds. As we walk closer to Treasure Trove Cove. And then it turns back to normal as we move away. The game does this a lot, and a lot of the actual in-world soundtracks are really great. You guys will hear Treasure Trove Cove coming up in a second, which is another really good one. Pipe in there, I'm not ready to go into yet. I know where we're heading, so we're just gonna head down here. And this actually gets us to the world of Treasure Trove Cove. Alright, nothing doing up here, so let's enter the world. This is Treasure Trove Cove. Probably one of my more favorite levels, but I'll say that about a lot of levels. There's a couple levels that like I don't care for as much, but they're still really good. Thing about Treasure Trove Cove, you got to be careful when you're in the water because there's a big shark that likes to eat your ass. He'll just eat your whole ass if you let him. You can actually knock the shark out, but I think he comes back if you move to a different water section. But yes, Treasure Trove Cove, pirate level, beach level, you know what I mean? Ship level, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, whole new area. As you can see, we got a lot going on. You can't even really see like half the world from here because you know what I mean? The walls are tall. But we'll get a good look at everything at some point. Collecting notes on the trees is kind of awkward. I said it earlier, Mario definitely has better movement than Banjo, because when Banjo runs around, he's a little slippery himself. It makes him a little bit harder to control, and then even his Kazooie things can get kind of rough. It's not as pinpoint. Mario 64 does a very good job of pinpoint accuracy, is what I should say. So those crab guys are losers and like to run into you, so I just killed them. I guess that's the first energy I picked up. Energy's our health bar, I said that before. But there's a hole in the side of this boat, and I want to see what's going on in here. I just about kicked my Xbox. If I do that and it shuts off, I'm so sorry. We do have a breath bar. We can only stay underwater for so long. If you stay underwater, once the bubble energy goes all the way away, it'll essentially, like, all of them will close out, and then if it ticks one more notch, Banjo drowns. So you gotta be really careful. You have until the very last, once the last bubble runs out, Banjo just drowns, and then that's an instant death. And you gotta be careful with that stuff. Alright, not ready to go up there just yet. Or am I? No, yeah, we are. Alright, whatever, I'm doing this. Talk to Bottles the Mole. We just picked up some red feathers, and now we'll find out what we get to use them for. This is your big chance, chicken legs. It's time for you to fly. At last, it better be easy. I don't know what you call them. Simple enough, even for you, bird brain. Just stand on a flying disc and press A. Here's 25 red feathers to help you into the air. So, he gave us the ability to fly using the red pad. I'm going to come back up here in a second. We're not ready to fly just yet. Because first, you saw me pick up a big old gold bar earlier. And there's actually 2 big old gold bars, and I want both of them. To give to our friend here in a second. You guys will see what I'm talking about. Once again, the music changes when we go underwater. Still the same theme, but the music changes to sound a little bit more like muffled and bubbly, almost as if you were hearing the music underwater. Soundtrack's phenomenal, and they do a lot of great stuff with the sounds in this game to make it work. So I don't know if he'll talk to me here. He won't. Short version, this is a pirate who lost his buried treasure, and we found his buried treasure for him. I did skip a dialogue option of talking to him beforehand, but it's really not a lot that gets said. He's Captain Blubber, and he was crying because he didn't have his buried treasure. And we found it for him, and he gave us a jiggy, as most things work in this game. Alright, I think I'm ready to head up here now, and we're going to fly. Ooh, messed it up. Wait. So, we'll have to fly again in this game for sure, but there was a jiggy hidden in this treasure chest. I'll explain more about how flying and the red feathers works, but I think it takes 1 red feather to take off, like start flying with Kazooie. And then basically Kazooie doesn't actually fly, Kazooie glides, like slowly getting closer to the ground over time, right? It's a slow glide, but it is a glide nonetheless. But Kazooie will glide on her way down. And you see I have 32 feathers. And as Kazooie gets close to the ground, I can actually push the A button and lift Kazooie further up. I don't want to do that right here. I've completely forgotten the order that I normally get these things in, so we're kind of going to be a little sporadic here, but it'll be okay.